The reality of emotional attraction is that most men are reading the wrong signals entirely. You're watching her body language. You're counting how many times she laughs at your jokes. You're analyzing her texts like they're encrypted messages that need decoding. And while you're doing all of that, the real signals, the ones that actually matter, are passing right in front of your eyes unnoticed. Physical attraction is easy. It's common. Any woman can meet a man, feel a spark, and move on by morning. But emotional attachment is something completely different. It's slow, it's quiet, and when it forms, it changes everything about how she sees you. You stop being someone she's interested in, and start being someone she thinks about without meaning to. The problem is that emotional attachment doesn't look like attraction the way we've been taught. It doesn't look like flirting. It doesn't look like obvious signals. It looks like small, automatic, almost invisible behaviors that she isn't even consciously aware of. If you don't know what you're looking for, you'll miss all of it. And you'll spend your time chasing surface-level signs while the real thing is happening right in front of you. Here are the 6 signs that actually mean something. Segment number 1, the attention redirect. Pay attention to what she stops doing when you reach out. Not whether she responds, how fast she responds, and what she sacrifices to do it. Human attention is the most honest thing a person can offer you because it can't be faked over time. The brain is ruthlessly efficient about where it directs its focus. It moves toward what it values and away from what it doesn't, automatically, without consultation. So when a woman consistently interrupts something to make space for you, when she steps away from a conversation, puts down what she was doing, or picks up the phone even though she normally lets things go to voicemail, her nervous system is telling you something her words haven't gotten around to yet. You become worth the interruption. Most men wait for grand gestures. They want a declaration. But the declaration is already happening every time she chooses you over whatever else had her attention. It's small, it's consistent, and it's completely involuntary. Segment number 2, the questions that go nowhere. There's a version of a question that exists to fill silence, and then there's a version that exists because she genuinely needs to know the answer. When she asks you what you wanted to be when you were 7, or what the best day of your life actually felt like, or what you're still working through that nobody in your life knows about, she isn't making conversation. She is building an interior map of who you are. She is filing information about you in the part of her memory that only gets accessed when something matters. Cognitive neuroscience tells us the brain doesn't retain everything it encounters. It filters constantly, keeping what carries emotional weight and discarding the rest. So when she brings up something small and specific you mentioned weeks ago, the name of your childhood street, the thing you said offhand about your father, that isn't coincidence. That's her brain telling you it tagged that information as important at the moment you said it. You were already significant to her nervous system before she had a word for what she was feeling. The deeper the questions get, the further in she already is. Segment number 3, the future that slips out. This one happens fast, and if you're not listening for it, you'll let it go by without realizing what just happened. She's talking about something coming up, a concert, a trip, a restaurant she's been meaning to try. And without any intention, without any strategy, she says we instead of I. Or she says you'd love that. Or she starts describing something months from now and puts you inside the picture like you were already there. She isn't doing this on purpose. That's what makes it so revealing. Future projection is almost always unconscious. The conscious mind is still deciding, still evaluating, still weighing. But the subconscious mind has already moved. It's already imagining a version of her life that includes you in it, and sometimes that imagination escapes into language before she's decided to let it out. When she places you in a future she hasn't announced yet, she is showing you the version of her life her mind is quietly rehearsing. And she can't help it. She doesn't even notice she did it. You should. Segment 4, the unraveling. In the beginning, she is performing. You both are. You're showing each other the most composed, most impressive, most carefully managed versions of yourselves. That's normal. That's how it starts. But real emotional attachment has a specific side effect. It makes performance exhausting. And eventually she stops. You'll notice it in small things first. The laugh she used to hold back starts coming out louder and less controlled, and she doesn't reach to catch it anymore. She stops sitting in the flattering position and starts sitting in the comfortable one. She tells you about something she's struggling with and doesn't wrap it in a neat explanation to make herself sound okay. Brené Brown spent decades studying human connection and kept arriving at the same conclusion. Intimacy isn't built by showing people your best self. It's built by letting someone see the real one and discovering they're still there. When she starts letting you see the parts she normally manages carefully, the tired version, the frustrated version, the version that laughs too loud and admits things that don't make her look perfect, she is not being careless. She is making a decision about you. She has decided, somewhere beneath conscious thought, that being real around you is worth more than being impressive. That shift is not small. That shift is everything. Segment 5. The defense you'll never hear. You won't be in the room when this one happens, but it matters more than almost anything else on this list. A friend makes a dismissive comment about you and something in her goes protective before she's decided how to respond. A family member raises a concern and she finds herself defending you without having planned to. Someone makes an offhand joke at your expense and she doesn't laugh along. People protect what they've already emotionally claimed. Not in a possessive way. In the way that happens naturally when someone has moved from the category of interesting to the category of mine. When your name comes up in a conversation and she feels something shift in her body before she's even processed what was said, you will probably never directly witness this, but it's happening. And the fact that she shows up differently in rooms where you're not present than in rooms where you are, that tells you exactly how real this is. Segment 6. The silence that doesn't need to be fixed. This is the last one, and it's the one most men completely overlook. Think about the early silences. The ones where both of you reached for the next thing to say because the quiet felt like failure. That's what happens when two people are still performing. Silence in performance feels like a gap, something to be filled before it gets awkward. Then think about the later ones. She's sitting near you and not saying anything. You're watching something or just existing in the same space and nothing is being said, and neither of you feels any pressure to change that. And in that quiet, nothing feels missing. Comfortable silence requires something that cannot be manufactured. It requires that her nervous system feels settled in your presence. That being near you doesn't activate her into a performance state. It brings her down into a resting one. You can't fake that. You can't perform your way into it. Either her body has decided you are safe, or it hasn't. When the silence between you feels full instead of empty, she isn't just comfortable around you. She's attached to you. And that kind of attachment doesn't announce itself. It builds slowly through hundreds of small moments, through every question that went deeper than expected, and every future plan that slipped out before she was ready, and every silence that neither of you needed to fill. That's what emotional attraction actually looks like. Now you know where to look.